So welcome everyone to this webinar on how to create professional video content from your kitchen table. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Anthony Fernando. I'm the co-founder of Content Samurai. Now, for those of you who don't know what Content Samurai is, it's an online video creation platform. And one thing that I do want to point out is if you have heard of Content Samurai, just to be aware that we are changing our name in the next week or two. We are changing the name from Content Samurai to vidnami.com. So that is something that's happening in the next couple of weeks, just to let you know. So if you hear the two names, you don't need to be confused. It's the same company. We're just changing our name from Content Samurai to Vidnami over the next roughly around the next 2 weeks. I just wanted to clear up that just in case it causes any confusion for anyone. We're a startup company based in Melbourne. As you can see, there's only 7 of us, so we're a small business, we're a small company. And really what I want to do tonight is just share some of the key insights that we've learned from creating over 971,000 videos for our users. And what we're seeing at the moment, right now, we're noticing 3 important trends. And I'd like to go through these 3 important trends before we jump into creating an actual video. So the first trend we're seeing is that some businesses are going dark. So in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic that we're all experiencing in one way or another, some businesses are sort of disappearing, they're going quiet, they're laying low, they're kind of disappearing off and just going dark. But at the same time, other businesses are stepping up. They're stepping up, they're becoming leaders, they're trying to be as helpful as they can, they're being leaders in their field, and in a sense, they become a light in a dark place. And in saying that, I am very, very aware that this crisis has impacted different businesses in different ways. So I'm very, very aware that there's no quick fix or easy answer for everyone. But what I will say is that if you are in a position to be a leader at the moment, right now is a great time to be a leader in your industry or niche, whatever that may be, because there are so many people that need help and need sort of help and guidance at this time. So if you happen to find yourself in a position that you can step up and be a leader, now is the perfect time to do that. So that's the first trend that we're seeing, and it's been quite evident that some businesses are kind of disappearing and aren't visible, and then there's other businesses that are stepping forward and becoming very visible. All right, the second trend that we're seeing at the moment is that a lot of people are reinventing their business. So their schools are now delivering online or content online. So my kids are doing homeschool at the moment and connecting with teachers over Zoom and doing their various things. And so that's very different. So schools have managed to reinvent their delivery method. There's personal trainers who are doing classes via Zoom. So there's a picture of a good friend of mine named Danielle, who's now running classes out of her living room. She's got a laptop and a big screen, and she's connected with 30 odd clients on Zoom. And so she's adapted, and people are adapting and reinventing their business models. And really what's happening is a lot of businesses around the world are trying to figure out how to deliver value to their customers over the internet. And so that's something to think about, is how can you deliver value? How can you reinvent your business and deliver value to people over the internet? And the third trend that we're seeing is that a lot of people are making their side hustle their main focus. So in the past, people have been juggling their side hustle with their main job, and whether they've had trouble with their main job or whatever their circumstances might be, people are focusing on their side hustle and trying to make it their main focus. And that might be creating content on YouTube, it might be creating online courses, or it might be some other form of online business. So that's the third trend that we're seeing at the moment, is a lot of people making that shift and making their side hustle their primary focus. And there's one thing that's common to all three of these trends. So whether it's stepping up and being an effective leader, or it's reinventing your business, or it's taking your side hustle and making it into your main focus, the one thing that's common to all three of these trends is video. But it's not just any type of video. So what we're seeing is that video is by far and away the most effective way to share any type of message. But right now, in the circumstances that we find ourselves in at this time in history, what people are really looking for is human connection and being able to see people and hear people. And so right now, the most effective type of video is where you're in front of the camera and you're communicating your message. Because when you do that, people get to see your face, they get to see your emotions, they get to see your passion, and that in itself communicates much, much more than just words or text or even video on screen. So if you can step in front of the camera, I know that's a bit intimidating for some people, but now is a great time, as we said, for people to step up, to be a leader, to step in front of the camera and to create videos that are very genuine and authentic. So if you can step in front of the camera and talk to your audience and deliver your information, and we'll talk about how to do that in this webinar, then that's probably the most effective type of content that you can create right now in particular, but generally speaking, it is just probably the most effective form of video content. So what I want to do in this webinar tonight is take you step by step through the process and show you how to create professional video content from your kitchen table. And to do that, I am actually sitting at my kitchen table. I'm downstairs. My kids, I've got two little kids, they've just gone to sleep. So hopefully they'll stay asleep and we'll be able to step through and do it. But I wanted to, the other thing that we're going to do in this webinar, which is probably a bit different, is we're going to do this live. So there's not going to be any smoke and mirrors. I actually want to step through the process, show you all the little tips and tricks along the way, and take you and show you step by step how to start from nothing and create a professional looking video from my kitchen table. All right, so when we look at creating content, one of the biggest problems in the past was setting up a home studio was very, very expensive. So it was incredibly easy to spend thousands of dollars on softbox lights and cameras and tripods and microphones and stands and backdrops and to create any kind of video at home that didn't look amateurish, cost thousands and thousands of dollars. But that's really, really changed over the last few years. So over the last 5 years, things have changed a lot. And I think that's what I'd like to share with you today, is that if you think that creating a home studio will cost a fortune and will be complicated and very technical, I'd like to show you today that that's not the case. And we'll be talking about a number of different things. And I'll show you a setup that I've set up here on my kitchen table, and we'll go through it and show you how it works. Now, so when it comes to creating content, and professional video content in particular, there's 3 things that you really need to remember. And so the easy way to remember these 3 things is with an acronym. So CAL, and those 3 letters stand for, the C stands for camera, the A stands for audio, and the L stands for lighting. So if you get these 3 things right, your videos will immediately look a lot more professional than just someone recording something and throwing it up on YouTube. So we'll look at each of these in more detail now, and I'll take you through some of the changes that have happened and how you can set up a professional kind of setup very quickly and cheaply. So let's first start with C, which is your camera. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that they already have a very good camera sitting in their pocket. So if you have a smartphone that you've been using or that's kind of less than 5 years old, then you probably have a very good camera sitting in your pocket that's completely capable of creating high definition video. So that's something to realize if you didn't realize that already. Now, some people have taken video with their camera and they've said, look, this really doesn't look very good and it doesn't look professional at all. And in reality, however, that's not so much to do with your camera. It's much more likely to be due to your audio and your lighting. So if you get your audio and your lighting right, then for most cases of creating sort of video for social media and for online uses, the camera in your smartphone is more than adequate. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start just using my smartphone camera. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is audio. A lot of people ask us about microphones for connecting to your smartphone. And we've tried a lot of different microphones. And the best microphone we found is called the Rode SmartLav Plus. And we'll talk more about this in a little while, but we found it to be a very good mic. It's got good quality audio. It's very simple to use. You just plug it straight in, and it only costs about US $60. So it's very good value and it delivers great audio. So that's what we recommend for making video with your smartphone. So that handles just that $70 microphone, takes care of takes care of your audio in terms of this simple setup. And the other thing we're going to look at is lighting. And so lighting is again something that you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on. But what we're finding now is that there's some very simple, very cheap light setups that do a great job. And what we found is lately these ring lights. They're simple little ring lights, and the one I've got set up today, I actually bought from a local store here in Melbourne called Kmart, which I guess is kind of a little bit like Walmart in the US, but it's just a regular store that sells clothes and toys and all sorts of different things. And it was $19. So it was under $20. It's a ring light. It does a great job, and it's just made me realize when I saw that, I bought it just to try it, to see what it would be like and whether it would be adequate. And I was quite surprised with the quality of it. So these sorts of lights are out there. The one that I've listed here, you can get on Amazon. It's a little bit more expensive. The $19 one that I bought, it's not the greatest build quality, but if you're just starting out, it's a great first step to getting much better lighting than if you just tried to use the lighting in your room. But you can check those out. So for a very small outlay, you can now get a fairly good setup. So what I want to do now is I'm going to come out of here. We're going to switch over. I'm going to, let's see. Okay, just do that. What I want to do today, and this is something that's probably a bit different to a lot of webinars, is I want to show you a real life example. And as I said, we're not going to do any smoke and mirrors. We're going to do it live. So we'll see how everything goes in terms of connection and all of that sort of thing. So what I'm going to try and do here is set my laptop up there, so you can see it. And so this is you can see here, I've got my little light that I bought for $19 from Kmart, and connected to that, I've got my smartphone. So that's it in terms of my camera. My smartphone is the camera. The audio, I've got my little Rode SmartLav Plus connected to my jumper here, and that's simply connected straight into my smartphone. So with those little pieces of equipment, I've actually got my setup for recording a video. And what I'm going to do now is, yes.
Sorry to jump in. If you stop sharing your screen, I think the webcam will pick up full screen and people might be able to see. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. You want to do the recording like that?
Sure.
And then share again after?
Okay, yeah, definitely. So is that better?
Yeah, so now, because people are saying, please zoom in your screen. Can you expand that so we can see him? So now you're full screen.
Okay. So let me just go through that again. For the camera, I've got my iPhone. For my light, I've got this simple ring light, which, as I mentioned, was $19 from Kmart. And for audio, I've got my Rode SmartLav Plus here, and that's connected straight into my camera. So what I'm going to do now is go and make a video, and we'll see how that goes as we go through it. All right, Wayne? Okay. So here we go. Let's give this a go. Just have a quick drink. Hi guys, it's Dr. Anthony here. I'm currently doing a live webinar and I thought I'd make a quick video. I wanted to answer one of the most common questions we get asked, which is what's the best microphone for creating videos with a smartphone? The mic we use is called the Rode SmartLav Plus. And there's 3 reasons why we love this mic. First, it delivers fantastic quality audio. Second, it's super easy to use and plugs straight into most smartphones. And finally, it only costs around $60 US, which is great value. So if you're looking for a high quality, easy to use mic that doesn't break the bank, be sure to check out the Rode SmartLav Plus. Okay, so I've just saved that to my phone, and what I will do now, you'll see that when I was speaking, I stopped at the end, and the reason I stopped at the end was because my camera was rolling. When I turned the camera off, that was recorded. So I'm just going to, on my phone, edit that final little piece out and then say done and save.
So that's trimmed off the part where you've reached out and clicked stop recording.
Correct. Now, one thing that a lot of people ask is, that's fine if you can just sit in front of the camera and rattle off a mini script like that. So one thing I really want to share with you guys is that it's not really a big secret, but the easiest way to do that, if you're creating a lot of videos and you want to create videos regularly and quickly, the best way to do that is actually to use a teleprompter on your phone. So let me just show you what when my phone was up there, what I was seeing. So can you see that? Yep. So you can see that on my phone, I was using a teleprompter app, and I'll tell you the name of the app that I was using. And I had a little script in the side there. And when I press record, that scrolls up, and I was able to look at the camera and simply read that. So it was very simple to do, and that's how you can, it's much, much easier to do that and get it right in a single take than it is to just ad lib and speak. So if you're a professional speaker, you might want to just ad lib off the cuff, and that's fantastic. But if you're creating content regularly, which you really need to do to feature in people's feeds, we find it much easier to write a quick script and then use that to record your video in one take. So let me just show back to the presentation for a sec. We've tried a lot of different teleprompter apps, and some of them are really terrible. The best one that I've found so far is this one. This is for an iPhone in iOS, is Teleprompter for video. And I found that to be very easy to use, and it does a really good job. So that's what I was using just then to record my video. So what I'm going to do now, you still with me, Wayne?
I am. I'm going to try and look for a link for that. It's called Teleprompter, is it?
It's called Teleprompter teleprompter for video.
Okay. Yep. So we got you.
And that's the icon to look for in the App Store.
Oh, you're not sharing your screen right now.
Oh,
sorry.
Let me share my screen.
There we go. All right, and that's what to look for. Okay, so I'll find a link for that, and I'll try and pop it up into the chat box. But just a heads up, it is an Apple-only app. This specific one, I haven't found it on Android.
Okay.
So I'll pop the link up for the iTunes Store in a second.
And I'm sure there'll be Android equivalents of a teleprompter app. The main thing is that it puts your script right near your camera. And so it looks like you're looking down the barrel of the camera. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just AirPlay that video to my computer. So let me go out of there. And I'm going to so if this works. Again, as I mentioned, we're doing this all live, so I need to okay, that worked. So I'm just basically what I'm doing now is transferring the video that I just recorded on my phone to my laptop. And so that's the video I just recorded on my phone. And what's it called? It is called Scripted 9. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to switch over to Content Samurai. And so this is the dashboard of Content Samurai. And I'll show you how we can turn that video into a professional finished video. So this is the dashboard, and I just go up here to create a new video. And the first step is to choose a template. And as I mentioned earlier, at the moment, we believe that the best and most effective way to communicate your thoughts and ideas with video is by being in front of the camera. So these new influencer video templates are what we're recommending people do, and that's what we're stepping through. That's the example that we'll work through today. So I'll just pick a template that I like the look of and say, use this template. And first of all, I'll give it a name. So I'll say, what's the best mic to use with my smartphone? And now I'm going to find the file that we just created and uploaded to my computer from my phone. And I'm going to upload it into Content Samurai. And this will take a little while, and you can see it uploading here. It'll be quicker if you're in the US, but because we're in Australia, it's got a long way to go. So it does take a little while to upload. But as I said, this is not one of those presentations where everything's set up and it looks like magic. We're actually doing this all live. And so you're seeing the real experience of creating a video. And that includes uploading things. So it wasn't a long video, but the files are reasonable size. So it'll take a little while to upload. Wayne, has there been any questions that have come through so far that you'd like to?
You know what I did find, that's not a question, but it's actually really cool that I haven't seen before. It's links out to teleprompters that work on Android, which I'll share again for anybody who has an Android phone or a device and they want to also use the teleprompter app. I'll get those ready. Heads up, we haven't used these, so we can't endorse them personally, but they're teleprompter apps. So they should do the same thing.
Yeah, and to be honest, when we started, I tried probably 5 different apps. Just one thing that people might come across, there's some apps that have voice recognition, so they listen to your voice and then they move up. So the one I had was called, what was it called? Prompt Smart Pro. And it sounds like a great idea so that you can just talk and it'll listen to where you are and move your script up automatically for you. But that one in particular, I find that I was doing a presentation and it would suddenly, it'd be going along well and then it'd suddenly jump, and that really ruins your whole take. You have to start again. So I switched that automatic capability off and just figured out the right speed for the way I talk, which is much easier. So our video has now uploaded and it's now preparing the file format and turning it into the correct format. And now one other thing, that if you do like to ad lib, one great new feature to Content Samurai is that when you upload your video, you can actually come across here once it's finished formatting and hit the transcribe button. And that will automatically listen to your video and convert what you're saying into text, which you'll see is important in a moment. But the other thing that you'll find, if you do take the approach that we take for creating a video of writing a little script first and then using the teleprompter, is you've got a little script already. So just in a Google Doc, here's the little script that I wrote for this example. And that's exactly what I read out on my teleprompter. So what you can do is just copy that and drop it straight into Content Samurai. And then hit, once that's done, you can come down here and hit the Create Scenes button. So what Content Samurai now does is it analyzes your video and it splits it up into different scenes. So as you can see, you can then come down here and I'd probably, let me just explain what I did there. These are different scenes and you can see that text has been split up into different scenes. I just clicked this button here to merge the first two scenes because it had "Hi guys" on one scene, which seemed a bit odd. So I just merged the first two scenes here. And so you can see that it's automatically split up my text into different scenes. And one of the most powerful things about creating influencer videos is that when I get to something like this, where I say the mic we use is called the Rode SmartLav Plus, you can actually combine your talking head clip with either images or other clips from our library. So in terms of images, let me go to my uploads and I'll look at images that I've uploaded, because I'm sure in the past that I had an image of the Rode SmartLav mic, which is here. So I can basically drop that over my talking head. And so at this point, when I'm saying the mic we use is called the Rode SmartLav Plus, this will show instead of my talking head. And you can then zoom in or zoom out. So let's zoom in, and that's what this will look like. You can see what that will look like. And so what this gives you the ability to do is combine your talking head with, in video sort of circles, it's known as B-roll footage. So the footage of you talking to camera is your A roll, your primary roll. And then any other clips or images that you drop on top of that is often referred to as your B-roll clips and B-roll clips. So let's add a few clips over the top of my talking head to make our video more interesting. So you can see here that we've said, first it delivers fantastic quality audio. So in terms of audio, let's look for a clip. So we can go over to Find Media, and then you can search for clips. So our library has over 790,000 clips in it. So let's search for audio. Let's search for a woman with a laptop and someone wearing headphones. Okay. And let's choose maybe this one. And so you can hover over these to get a little preview, and then you can also hover over your main scenes to get a bigger preview. So that's not a bad clip. And so second, it's super easy to use. plugs straight into most smartphones. So we're talking about mobile phones. So let's look for that. Oh, just mobile phone, I don't need multiple. Let's add that clip. So if someone using a mobile phone, and my next scene, finally, it only costs around $60. So this is about saving money. So let's, for a piggy bank, just choose a piggy bank clip. That looks okay. And that's probably it. So now we can go to preview. So what we've just done there, we've taken our A-roll footage, or our primary footage from our phone, we've dropped it in, and we've combined that with images and B-roll footage and it's something you'll often see in the news. So you'll see someone talking, and then while they're talking, they'll cut to some footage of what they're talking about, then they'll cut back to someone talking, and it's just a very, very powerful and effective form of communication and videoing. So on the preview screen, I can then review, we've got over 30,000 music tracks. So I can look for something, say, happy. And so you can just roll over them to get a preview of them. So there's lots of, actually do like this one. So Happy Sky, we'll add that one to our video, and then we can watch a preview by clicking this button here. So we'll watch a little bit of the preview, and then I'll actually generate the video so you get a sense of how that works. So here we go, let's have a look at it.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Anthony here. I'm currently doing a live webinar, and I thought I'd make a quick video. I wanted to answer one of the most common questions we get asked, which is, what's the best microphone for creating videos with a smartphone?
Okay, so let's go, it looks good, continue. And then we get to choose how we generate our video. So for this one, I will generate at full 1080p. So this will take a little bit longer, but as I said, I don't want to have any smoke and mirrors. I want you to see the real process. So this will take a little bit of time in terms of generating the video. It's now generating my scenes, it's pulling everything together, and at the end of this, we'll have our finished video. So really though, in the space of probably 20 minutes or so, we've recorded our video, we've uploaded it, we've combined our primary footage with images and B-roll clips. We've added music. We could have added a watermark. I didn't actually add a watermark. We could have also added a watermark for branding, and we're now generating our videos. So in the space of about 20 minutes, we've gone from absolutely nothing to a finished video, and we'll take a look at what this looks like when it finishes rendering. So Wayne, while we're waiting for that to finish, was there anything that you wanted, anything that people have been asking?
Oh, he caught me slipping. I'm getting back to everyone. I don't know if I have any questions. I'll quickly do a little scan. Maybe we could just go over some of them that I have actually answered. I'm not sure if this was, can you turn the background music down like now while you're presenting, or if it's, can you turn the background music down? But you can. There's an option in the preview section of the app. I'm sure like Anth can't go there now because he's generating the video, but if he was in the preview section, there's a tab called options, and up there you can set the background music volume, you can set the voiceover volume, and you could also set the voiceover speed in there. So there's a few extra options up there. Oh, so what about the copyright? What about the images or the media that you used in this video? Do people have licenses if they just add the media like that? Are they allowed to use media?
Yeah, so in terms of the clips that you'll find in the library, of the 790,000 clips that you find in the library, we actually license them on your behalf. So you can create unlimited videos using as many clips as you like, and there's no attribution. You don't need to do anything with regards to that. In terms of the image of the Rode SmartLav Plus, you could probably go to Rode website and use one of their images. If you wanted to be super careful about copyright, you could take your image, put it on a white table and take a photo to show the product that you're talking about. So, but the good thing is, in terms of all the clips and the music, you don't have to worry about the copyright, because we have arrangements with Storyblocks. So if you've seen Storyblocks, Video Blocks or Audio Blocks or Storyblocks, they're all the same company, but we've got a licensing arrangement with them, which means that you can create unlimited videos using unlimited clips and all the different, we've got over 30,000 music tracks, so that you can create as many videos as you want.
And just to touch on that, something that keeps coming up in the chat room that's probably semi-important that we should address while you mention this is the question, can they take that media and go use it like in a Keynote or in other applications?
Yeah, no, the license that we have with Storyblocks only allows you to use those assets within Content Samurai. So you can't download the individual clips and use them in other ways. It has to be part of a video created with Content Samurai. So that's the licensing arrangement that we have with Storyblocks, is that we can't allow people to download individual items and use them in other forms. They can only use it in the app, which is that's the arrangement that we have with them. All right, I'm just downloading my video to my computer so that we can see what the finished video looks like. All right, so Wayne, I am sharing my screen at the moment, is that correct?
Yeah, so it looks like you just downloaded the video and you're maybe about to play it?
Yeah, so I'll bring it up on my screen. And so this is the video that we just made live. So let me just get it there, and I hope this works okay over Zoom. So let me play it for you now. And you'll see how it combines my talking head with the other clips and the images and things. So here we go.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Anthony here. I'm currently doing a live webinar and I thought I'd make a quick video. I wanted to answer one of the most common questions we get asked, which is what's the best microphone for creating videos with a smartphone? The mic we use is called the Rode SmartLav Plus. And there's 3 reasons why we love this mic. First, it delivers fantastic quality audio. Second, it's super easy to use and plugs straight into most smartphones. And finally, it only costs around $60 US, which is great value. So if you're looking for a high quality, easy to use mic that doesn't break the bank, be sure to check out the Rode SmartLav Plus.
Okay, so there's our finished video, and you can see that it combines the clip that I took on my phone with the B-roll footage and the images and music as a background track. What Wayne mentioned earlier was, can you change the volume? I'll just go back to the previous screen and show you the options that he mentioned.
And while you do that, can I run a question by you that just come up?
You can.
Is will the influencer templates be available in landscape?
Yes, well, there are. I'll go back and we'll look at some of the other templates that are available in the moment, so you can see the full range of templates. So here are the options that Wayne mentioned in terms of the music volume and the voice track or the video volume. So you can change that. And here's also the watermark feature that I mentioned. So let's say we were doing a cafe, let's say we were doing a video about a cafe, for example. You can create a watermark and you can move it wherever you like. You can change the scale of it, so you can scale it up, or you wouldn't scale it that big, but you can just have a subtle watermark. You can change the opacity and position it wherever you like. And then if you were creating a a video about, say, a restaurant or something, you can have your watermark in the side there. Now, the other question that you mentioned, Wayne, was with regards to the templates. So in terms of the influencer templates, we do have the blue bar or the bar type templates, and you can customize these also to make them any color you like. So if your brand colors are different, you can make it suit your brand perfectly. But we do also have landscape versions of some of these templates. So here's one where I was doing a video in the cars. I think it was a similar type of road review, but that's in landscape. We've got square ones, and so there's different styles. These ones over here have just the text without the background blocks over the text. And we've got those in different colors as well. So there's lots of different variations that you can choose from for the influencer, and that's all just for the influencer videos. We will wrap things up. I don't want to go over time. So thank you everyone for taking the time to join us today. I hope that's been useful. I hope it's been helpful information. And we will be running some other webinars in the near future to look at different things like running teams online and just how to navigate this crisis and things like that. So stay tuned for additional webinars, and we hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll catch you again next time. Okay, bye for now.
See you guys, bye.